Let's record. Okay, so I have here my rig. By the way, this character, I call him Frank. Okay, so napakita naman sa inyo ni Charmaine kung paano ko gumawa ng multiple views, right? So usually those views are inside keyframes. So kini-keyframe natin siya. So my rig right here, medyo extensive lang yung ginawa ko. So I have here the views and then I have here full turnaround. So naka-ano siya? Naka-rotate siya. I also did head tilts. 1, 2, then pati yung mga nakayoko. And then I also did mount shapes for each view. Yan. Yan. So usually kapag nasa production kayo and main character yung yung napunta sa inyo, usually at least ganito yung pinapagawa. So ganyan karaming views para very extensive, 'di ba? And very flexible. Napakita ba ni Charmaine last time kung paano gamitin si library? Yes or no? Well, pakita ko na rin. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to use the library. So every computer that has a Harmony installed, automatically it will create this Harmony Premium library. Itong folder na to. So by the way, itong folder na to can be found inside Documents. Tapos hanapin nyo lang dyan, Tunbom Harmony Premium Library. Ayun yung location niya. Okay? So, it doesn't matter kung Windows or Mac users kayo, it will always create this folder right here. And you will find it inside Documents. Okay? So, ito yung pinaka-basic na pwede natin gamitin to establish our library. So, kanina naglagay na ako sa pang-umaga. Kasi, tanggalin ko muna para from scratch tayo. Okay. Easiest way, first guys, when you open your library, that default library, Harmony Premium library natin, is actually locked. Okay? Nakalock yan. So, for us to be able to put assets inside, we need to unlock it. So, just press right-click, then choose right to modify. Pag nawala yung lock icon, this is now usable. Okay, so kapag usable na or unlocked na yung folder natin, we can now put this asset inside. So, easiest way is to copy and paste it. Select, Ctrl-C to copy, select the folder. Itong space na to, this is basically the storage or yung nasa loob ng folder. Just paste it there. So, let it load. Ayun siya. Ayun yung asset ko. Okay? So, kapag naglagay tayo ng asset, if we load assets in the library, it will create a TPL file. So, a TPL is short for template. Okay? So, let's check in my documents folder kung nandun yung TPL file. So, Tunbom Harmony Premium library. Ayun siya. This one. Here. Got it? So this is very useful, most especially kapag yung scene nyo is composed of multiple characters. Or let's say yung mga backgrounds nyo ginawa nyo sa Harmony, gusto nyo ilagay sa library. Okay, so this is very useful. So ang tanong dito, paano natin siya magagamit? So just to illustrate how we are going to use it, I'm going to create a fresh scene. Okay, I'm going to start with a clean slate. Sige, let's call this acting. Then, lagay natin siya sa... Ay, meron acting ito. Okay, tanggalin ko muna ito. Okay, I have your clean slate. So, if you're going to remember a while ago, I put a TPL in the library. So, just in case na hindi lumabas yung template natin, you can always refresh it. Click lang yung refresh, automatic mag-update yan. So the way we import the template is simply dragging and dropping. You have two options. You can drag it here in your camera. Ayan siya. Another option naman is you drop it here in the node view. Anong kaibahan? So when you drop it inside your camera, it will automatically connect to the composite. Magdi-display siya agad. Kapag sa ano naman, sa node view, it will be there, pero you have to manually connect it sa composite. So bakit may ganong option? Kasi in some scene builds, guys, hindi naman laging sa composite nakakabit yung mga rigs natin. There are specific scene builds in some studios where they put multiple composites to contain a specific asset. So for example, separate composite yung character, separate composite yung background, yung props and effects, and so on and so forth. Okay? Kaya may ganong option. Got the idea? Okay. Tanggalin ko muna yung ibang post na ginawa ko. Let's say I only have the turnaround para hindi sobrang dami ng mga poses na kailangan ko intindihin. Okay. So ngayon naman, I already have my character imported in my scene. The next thing I'm gonna do is to import the animatic. So import tapos movie. So always remember, guys, when importing any video file in Harmony, it will take time for it to load. Kasi what's happening here is that Harmony is converting the video file into image sequence. Kaya medyo matagal siya. Lalo-lalo na kapag mahaba, yung ilalagay nyo, mahabang video. So you have to be patient. Ayun siya. Ayan, so I have here my animatic. Then, yung character ko nasa likod. Ano pa yung ilalagay natin sa scene? We put a camera. So, maglalagay ako ng peg sa camera so that I can move it. I can resize it. There you go. Okay. So, usually guys, itong animatic na to, we put a peg there and then we resize it. So, nilalagay namin yan sa top right corner. So, if you want it to, let's say, occupy the entire space, they disable nyo lang ulit yung peg. Okay, we can also put transparency node dun sa animatic nyo. That way, it will be transparent. Okay. Ano bang nilalagay usually kapag sa sa scene build? We also put, well, in production at least, we put a node called burn in. Are you guys familiar with burn in?
Yes.
So para saan si burn in? It's for frame counter. Okay? So bakit usually in production gumagamit mo ng burn in? Kasi usually kapag nagpapacheck kami ng animation sa mga directors namin, as much as possible, they want to specify which frame it is. Para mas detailed and mas alam natin kung anong frame yung pinapabago. Okay? So that's the usefulness of the burn-in. Usually kasi sa burn-in, medyo mahaba yung naming convention yan. So what we do, pinakamabilis, in the layer properties, you can just erase everything except for the %s. Itong %s na to, yung simple syntax code na yan, ibig sabihin lang niya is gagamitin niya kung ano yung name ng scene. Enter. As you can see, acting. Kasi %s nilagay natin. Got the idea? Okay. So this will be my very simple scene build for this one. Okay. Next. If I'm going to scrub along my camera, I mean along my timeline, as you can see, normally the rig will be placed in the first few frames, right? So nandun yung mga keyframes natin. So as much as possible, when animating, do not offset. I mean, wag kayo mag-animate sa frame number 10. Or let's say sa frame number 6. Hindi ganon. We always start animating on frame number 1. Okay? So hindi yung animation na mag-a-adjust, yung rig ang mag-a-adjust. So, with that being said, itong mga keyframes na pinalagay natin, or yung sinetup natin for the turnaround, what we're gonna do is we are going to transfer it to a frame that we do not use. So since my entire scene here is 100 frames long, I can put all these keyframes, so let's say 101 onwards. Okay? We do not delete this poses. Kasi itong mga poses na to, this will be our database. Sila yung pwede nating balikan just in case of model na tayo. Or just in case we want to go back to the default position easier. Okay, I'm going to put it here in frame, let's see, 102. By doing so, free na ngayon yung buong 100 frames ko. Okay, so, subukan nating i-layout. In my animatic, anong view to? What view is this? 3/4. So I need a 3/4 view. So punta ako dun sa frame 1 and 2 onwards, hanapin ko yung 3/4 ng character ko. Press F6, copy and paste. Control C, go to frame 1, paste it here. Got it? So sa animatic, nakatingin siya sa kabila. So if your rig does not have a full 360-degree turn, let's say 180-degree lang yung turn, no, you can always flip. Okay? Easiest way to flip is by pressing number 4. When you press 4, that's flipping horizontal. When you press number 5, that's flipping vertical. Okay? Reminder lang when doing the flip, never flip na yung mouse nyo ay naka-hover sa timeline. Because when you flip, when your mouse is over the timeline, what will happen is that the flipping would be done individually. Okay, individual layers yung flipping. So para maging uniform flipping, make sure yung camera yung active. Got it? Okay. So scrub tayo sa timeline. So this one is still 3/4. Then in this frame number 53, well, that's still 3/4, so I can just flip this. Yan. So, puro 3/4 lang naman eh. So, ang usual question sa akin, sir, paano yun kapag, let's say, on frame number 21, I want the character to go front view? It's the same idea. Just go back to your keyframes, press F6, copy and paste. Copy, go to frame 21, paste it. Got it? So, paano naman, another question, sir, paano yan kapag kapag ang gusto kong mangyari, yung head lang yung iikot. Let's say on frame number 33, I want the head to go side view. Okay, if that's the case, we need to open the rig. We need to open the hierarchy. So, ang gagawin natin, we need to navigate our hierarchy. So, paano ulit go up and down the hierarchy? What do you press? B and Shift D. So, I'll be selecting one part, then press B until I have navigated to the headmaster peg. Then from there, hanapin natin yung layer niya in the timeline. Para mahanap, just simply press O. O as in omega. There. Bubukas yung hierarchy, naka-highlight ngayon yung head. Okay? Para, alam ko nakakaduling yan. So usually what I do, I color it. So may white box dyan, i-double click nyo lang. It will allow you to assign a color. So alam nyo ngayon kung asan yung layer ng ulo. So from there, all I need to do is just go back to my rig. Ito siya. Hanapin ko yung profile view. And I'm just going to be copying and pasting the keyframe for the head. So I need the profile view. Ito yung keyframe niya. Copy. Go here. Then we paste. Got it? O, paano naman kapag upper body? Same idea. Navigate sa upper body peg nyo. Then what do you press to look for it in the timeline? Oh. So lalagyan ko din siya ng kulay para hindi nakakaduling. Then we copy and paste the frame. So I need, let's say, I need a 3/4. Copy. Then let's say, paste. Got it? So that's how we use or utilize all the views that we have created here in the rig. It's just simply copying and pasting. So kumbaga gumagawa tayo ng template ng pagkukuhanan ng mga poses or ng mga views. Maliwanag ba? Actually, marami pang ways on how to automate this. Meron tayo tinatawag na master controllers. It's still the same idea, in-automate lang siya. So it's quite advanced, pero yun nga. Anyway, so going back here, Tanggalin ko lang yung mga pinaglalagay ko. Then let's try to animate this. Okay, unang-una nating mapapansin is that the shot needs to be adjusted. Kasi this one is a wide shot, this one is closer. Right? So you have two options. You can either resize the rig, resize yung character, or ano pa isang option natin? The camera, that's correct. You can adjust the peg of the camera para makuha natin yung shot. Ako personally, ito ginagawa ko. So, I use the camera to stage it properly. There you go. Meron yung mask dito para makita nyo lang yung shot. Ayan siya. Yeah. So, I now have the shot. So, from there, I can now start animating. Teka. Okay, so when posing, for example, you have to remember guys, kapag nag-post kayo, based on an animatic, you have to remember that the poses in the animatic are not final. So those are just suggestions. So kasi yung mga storyboard artists natin, they are focusing on storytelling. Okay? It is our job as animators to give life to it. So, ibig sabihin, hindi natin kailangan i-trace ng 100% yung mga poses na binigay nila. Those are just suggestions for us to have an idea kung ano mangyayari, kung ano yung magiging poses nila. Pero we can always improve it. Okay? We can still do more. Okay? So, kumbaga, yung poses sa animatic, it's just the minimum requirement. Maliwanag ba? Okay. So, first, I want to basically like relax. I-relax natin ng konti yung pose. So this one is very stiff. Maybe I can widen ng konti yung ano natin. Yung arms. Maybe I can... Gusto ko mag-slouch siya ng konti. Then, yung head niya, baba natin ng konti. Then, yung eye direction. Based on the animatic, eye direction natin is facing down. So, baba natin. So you just have to make sure na meron siyang tinitignan. Then I have here part for my eyebrow. Eyelid. So it's fine kung wala kayong rig ng eyelid. You can always use drawing substitution. So baba ko lang. There you go. Nagsimula na siya magkaroon ng personality, right? Next. I need a sad mouth. By the way, guys, for this rig, ito kasing mouth nito, ni Frank, nirig ko siya. Yan. Okay? So, may nakamask yan. So, I can always use deformations. Pero don't worry, this is not required. For this one, you can just use drawing substitutions para ma-post nyo ng maayos yung mouth nyo. You can always draw. I think I have a tutorial for this one. I think ginagawan ko siya. Hanapin nyo lang sa YouTube channel ko. Again, wala monetization yun ah. Tigilan nyo ako. It's not monetized. It's free. Go ahead. Ayan. If you want to adapt this kind of mouth, go ahead. Walang problema. Yan. There you go. Next. Next post natin on frame number 21. Nag-react siya. Okay? So there will be a reaction. So same thing, I need to post him again. So kapag nag-react ka, definitely tataas ng konti yung body mo. Taas natin. So yung ibang gagawin, sir, nag-react yan kasi tumaas yung body. Pag ganyan guys, hindi siya mukhang natural. You have to remember, when posing, if the movement involves the entire body, each part of the body should be moving. Okay? Para hindi siya magmukhang stiff and mechanical. Okay? So, ano pwede natin gawin dito? First, let's make him lean back a bit. So basically guys, itong ganitong klaseng pose, when you're reacting, you're actually stretching. Diba? You still remember squat and stretch? So kapag nag-react ka, you are stretching. Right? In-stretch yung body mo. Nakita yung difference? Next, let's work on the head. So kapag nagulat ka, definitely, we need full eyes. And then, eyebrows up, right? Okay. One thing about eyebrows, guys, and one thing about parts that are symmetrical, as much as possible, when posing them, do not use duplicates. Anong ibig sabihin ko ng duplicates? Dapat yung left side is not the same as the right side. Okay? Lagyan nyo siya ng konting difference. Kasi kapag ginawa natin siyang parehong-pareho, magmumukhang straight line yan. Okay? Either use curves or use diagonals. Never straight lines. Vertical or horizontal. Got it? Okay. So, another thing that we can do here, para mas ma-emphasize yung pagkagulat niya, instead of making the eyes bigger, we can make the iris smaller. Kasi kapag nilaki na yung mata, maging off-model yan. So, by shrinking this iris, it will still give us the same effect. So, difference? So, hindi off-model yung mata natin, pero we got the same effect na para lumaki yung mata. Kasi yung part ng white part ng area na nadi-display ay lumalaki. Yun lang yan. Next, I need the mouth. So, since rigged yung mouth ko, I'm going to pose it manually. So, buha ko muna. And then we deform. Okay, so ano pa pwede natin i-improve? So, since this is stretching, and binuka niya yung bibig niya, di ba? So, definitely, yung chin niya, bababa. Right? And pag bumaba yung chin, sa rule ng squash and stretch, this one should shrink a bit. Right? See your difference? Slight changes, pero ang laki ng effect. So it's basically just attention to detail. Yan. So titignan nyo, mukha na siya nagulat. Diba? May nangyari. Kaya siya nag-react. So dapat sa inyo pa lang, ma-convince na kayo na nagulat siya. Kasi pag kayo pa lang hindi na convince, what more yung audience nyo? Okay? Next. To make this more dynamic, para mas maramdaman natin na hindi siya flat, we are going to try to manipulate the perspective. Kasi medyo nag-lean backward siya, di ba? So this looks flat kasi, kung titignan nyo yung beanie niya, it's not moving at all. Well, it's going up and down, pero hindi nagbabago yung perspective. So you have to remember, kapag nag-lean back ka, the position of these details will change. Right? So kapag nag-lean back, ano mangyayari dito? It will go down. Right? So, nung binaba ako, nakita yung difference? Then same thing here. Baba natin. There you go. Yung curvature nito, same thing. Pag nag-lean back, mas magiging deeper yung curve. There you go. So I have the reaction. Clear so far? Okay, if you're going to notice, guys, I am really taking time, or really taking my time in posing this. Kasi in production, guys, we have a saying, once you're done with the posing stage, you're halfway done the scene. Okay, kaya dapat, kapag nag-posing kayo, each poses ay pinaglaanan ng panahon. Okay, do not pose for the sake of posing. Kailangan each pose that you do is working. Okay, next pose, titingin siya sa kabila. Okay, so it's just going to look on the side. So, yun ang mangyayari. Okay, so in my animatic right here, as you can see, the body is still straight. Pero katulad sinabi ko kanina, these are just suggestive poses. So definitely we can maybe lean towards screen right, di ba? Para mas ma-emphasize yung pagtingin niya sa kabilang side. So it's just a basic weight transfer. Para lang ma-emphasize natin. I can basically skew natin ng konti. Then rotate. Ayan siya. Next. So regarding the face, guys, itong face niya, you have two options. You can either work with this kind of pose, or if you want, you can always go back to the default. So for the default, meron tayo dito mga poses, copy and paste nyo lang. Okay, maybe for this one, gamitin ko na siya. Okay, kung titignan nyo, this pose right here is actually an in-between. So gitna siya ng 3/4 and front view. So itong pose na to is not included in the rig. So if that's the case, we are going to force this perspective. Tayo gagawa ng perspective na ito. So how do we do that? Of course, we pose it. So ano ba mangyayari kapag tumingin sa kabila? So let's just imagine the head as a sphere. It should rotate. Okay? Lagi ko sinasabi sa mga tinetrain ko, when doing 2D animation, do not treat it as a flat drawing. Always treat it as 3-dimensional. Kasi pag tinanggal nyo yung depth niyan, hindi namin nape-perceive kung ano yung volume ng character nyo. Okay? So always consider the volume. So, titingin siya doon. So, minove ko yung buong face master peg. Then, ano pa ba yung kailangan gumalaw? So, definitely, kapag tumingin ka, ay lumingon ka, nag-rotate ka, the size of this eye right here would be a bit bigger. Right? Konti lang. Just enough for us to be able to feel it. Ayusin na rin natin yung eye direction niya. Next, ano pa? Ano pa pwede nating i-move para mukha siyang umikot? Mukha nag-rotate ang ulo niya. Yung buhok. Sige, yung buhok natin. So, this sideburn right here. Move. Ay, taga. Mali ako ng frame. So, this hair right here should move, right? And yung sideburn, move din natin. Ano pa? Sige, itong mouth. This nose, magabago din. Not too much. Then, ears, right? So, itong ear na to, pag-shrink ng konti, and it would move sidewards. Meron na siyang mag-rotate. And paano mas maging effective yung rotation nito, I need the other ear. Right? So, nandun siya. Ito siya. Nakatago lang kasi yan. So, this ear right here to look like this. Diba? Medyo nag-rotate na siya. Baguhin din natin yung face. Basically, kapag nag-rotate, itong chin na to would shift a little bit. Right? So, yun yung mga considerations na kailangan nating intindihin. What else? The beanie. So, this one would shift here. And then of course, itong pinaka-base ng beanie would move as well. So the difference now, guys. Then mouth would be a bit smaller. Okay, so maybe for now, I'm just going to be focusing on these three poses. 1, 2, and 3. Subukan natin siyang i-animate. Tanggalin ko muna to. Then I'm going to be focusing on this 3. 1, 2, 3. So, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, guys, we should not be limited sa poses na nakalagay sa storyboard. Kasi hindi trabaho ng storyboard artist na i-animate tong character. It's ours as animators, right? So dito ngayon, pumapasok yung understanding natin regarding the principles of animation. So, we have to analyze in this kind of movement, ano ba mga kailangan mangyari? Okay? First, well, definitely we need to add more poses here to make this believable. So in my experience in doing character animation, one of the few poses na kailangan nating unang ilagay sa scene is number one, anticipation. What do you mean by anticipation? Ha? Before, okay. What else? Tama yan. Ano pa? What do you mean by anticipation? What's your understanding? What do you do when you anticipate? Huh? Yeah? Wind up. Sige, I'm consider that. What else? Letter P. Ano ibig sabihin ng anticipation? Letter P. Wala na, nakalimutan na. U. Ano ginagawa mo pag buwebelo ka? Ha? Ano, sorry? Pull through, no? Ano? Kapag buwebelo ka, ano ginagawa mo? You are? Push, pull? No? P, wala. Wala na? Nakalimutan na? It stands for preparation. Okay? So when you anticipate, you prepare. Okay? So we have a very big movement here. Diba? So itong reaction nito is quite big. So definitely, the character needs to prepare para mas ma-emphasize itong reaction na ito. Okay? So with that being said, let's try to create an antic pose. So let's say I'm going to put the antic pose here sa frame 15. Lagyan natin dyan. So you have to remember, guys, anticipation is always opposite the direction of the main action. So kung yung action natin is going up, definitely antic natin is going down. Yeah?
How does onion skin work with this?
Okay. So si onion skin, gumagana siya keyframe per keyframe. If I'm going to click this button, ayun siya. There. Okay. Well, ako personally, ginagamit ko siya from time to time. Pero ako kasi, mas gusto kong nag-flip from one pose going to the next so that I can see the continuity. Pero it's a personal preference. Yeah. Okay? So kapag nag-anti ka, definitely baba ng konti ito. Lean forward. So wider yung magiging silhouette niya. Actually guys, itong ginagawa natin na to, na anticipation and reaction, it's actually an application of squash and stretch. So when you anticipate, you're actually squashing. Then perspective, baba natin ng konti. Okay. Next, for this antic, I'm also going to make him blink. So this blinking right here would actually help with squashing. Kasi pag pinapikit natin ng character, you are also, what do you call this, squashing the facial features. Gawin natin ganito. Okay, next. When you move the eyelids, you have to remember to always move the eyebrows as well. Okay? Tandaan nyo, yung eyelids nyo is the same, it is connected to the same skin as the eyebrow. So kapag gumalaw yung eyelids, definitely magkakaroon ng konting reaction yung eyebrow nyo. Okay? So never create a blink na stationary yung eyebrow. Clear pa yung process, guys? I'm also going to be squashing the face here, or the head. Okay. So I now have my anticipation pose right here. So check natin. So without the antic, it will look like this. From the first pose, going to the reaction, ganyan lang siya. Although effective siya, pag naglagay kasi tayo ng anticipation, nagkakaroon tayo ng contrast. Nagkakaroon tayo ng push and pull. So from here, antic, react. So difference? So I did not exaggerate the reaction here, kung ano yung pinost natin, the same thing. But as you can see, with the use of anticipation, the reaction is now stronger because there is contrast. Got the idea? Okay. Let's move on. Any questions regarding antic? All good? Next. Aside from anticipation, what we can do is we can also add poses for overshoots and settle. So, para saan si overshoot and settle? So, si overshoot is basically lumalampas muna. Lalampas before it settles down to the pose. So, para saan siya? Kasi when you stop, you do not stop at once. So, for example, if I point my finger here, or my arm here, when I point it, hindi naman talaga siya titigil. Diba? It will overshoot, settle down. Okay? Got it? Okay, let's try it. So basically, this one right here would be my overshoot. Okay, overshoot ka rin ng iba. This one would overshoot a bit. Eyebrow would overshoot. Konti lang. Then even the size of this pupil, overshoot din natin ng konti. Mas paliliit din ng konti. So bakit ko pinaliit for this one? Then mouth. Okay, so let's try to play it and let's see how it looks like in real time. So play natin. So masyado lang mabilis ito. Let's delay it a bit. Isa pa? React. Look. Got it? Okay. Next step. So next step for this one is to in between. Kasi working na yung animation natin, working na yung mga poses natin. So kapag working na yung poses, paano di ba malalaman kung working na yung poses nyo? So malalaman yung working na yung poses kung kahit wala siyang in between, clear yung action, clear yung timing. Okay? So if I play it without in-betweening, ramdaman natin ng gulat, tapos tumingin siya. Okay? So if that's the case, we can now proceed with in-betweening. So for in-betweening, I'm going to use interpolation for this one. Okay. So when we interpolate, Harmony is actually computing yung transition from one pose going to the next pose. Shortcut for interpolation is Control K. Okay? K as in kite. So, pag nakalimutan nyo yung shortcut ng interpolation, you can find it here sa toolbar. Itong S-curve, siya yung interpolation. To remove it, itong katabi niya. Shortcut for removing the interpolation is Control L. L as in lambda. Okay? So, K sa L lang siya. Okay. So, as you can see here, in-interpolate ni Harmony yung pose ko from the default pose going to the antic pose. So, let's try to play it and see how it looks like. Tapos, from there, tignan natin kung ano yung pwede nating ma-adjust. So, what's wrong here? Anyone? Paano mo nasabing kailangan ng ease? Anong odd dito? Dire-diretso, right? Ibig sabihin, yung spacing natin are all even. Okay? So if I'm going to open my onion skin, kung titignan nyo, yung spacing nila, pantay-pantay. So pag pantay-pantay spacing, walang gravity. There's no speeding up, there's no slowing down. So usually kapag ganito yung ganito yung spacing ng animation natin, our animation would look very mechanical. Mukha siyang robot. Kasi hindi siya bumibilis, hindi siya bumabagal. Ano pa? Magmumukha siyang nasa outer space without gravity. Or let's say mukha siyang nasa underwater. Mukha siyang nag-dive or nag-swimming. Okay? So, to change the ease in, ease out of our animation, we are going to use this curves right here. This one. So may drop down yan. We can actually control yung eases ng interpolation natin. Ito yung mga curves na yan. Okay. So, paano natin gagamitin? I mean, ano yung mga curves? I mean, ano yung ibig sabihin ng mga curves na yan? So, for us to understand it, let me show you the different curves that we can use. Okay, first, yung pinaka-basic, we have here a straight graph. If your graph looks like this, straight line, this is even spacing. So, ganito mga nangyayari when we put interpolation. Ito yung pinaka-default. Okay? So, kailan tayo nagkakaroon ng ease? Nagkakaroon ng ease if we introduce curves. Okay? So, if we put the curve at the beginning of the animation, dito sa dulo, the graph now would look like this. There. Okay? So, this graph right here signifies speeding up. Pabilis. Okay? In animation terms, we call this ease out. Palabas pa lang siya. Got the idea? Okay. Balik na rin naman natin ngayon. Instead of putting the curve at the beginning, we put it at the end. So, yung sa part na to, it will look like this. So, if the curve looks like this, napunta sa dulo, this is slowing down. In animation terms, we call it ease in. Got it? Lastly, yung pinaka-last form niya would be combining both. We have ease out, we have ease in. Okay? Ito lang yung apat na graphs na kailangan nating intindihin. We have here the straight line. This is even spacing. If the curve is from the beginning, this is speeding up. If the curve is at the end, this is slowing down or ease in. Tapos, kapag S-curve tayo, it is speeding up and slowing down. Maliwanag ba? But if you are going to look, by the way guys, this curves right here, it is not only applicable in harmony. So kapag, punta na kayo ng 3D animation, it's the same idea. You will still be using graph editor there. And the idea is the same. It's always about ease in, ease out. Okay? But if you're going to look at ito mga template natin, bakit ang dami? Actually, dumadami lang yan kasi there are levels of the curvature. So, the deeper the curve is, the snappier it gets. Mas nagiging snappy lang siya. But as you can see, the form are the same. So, this is even, this right here is ease out, this is an S-curve, ease out, ease in, and this is your ease in. Got it? So, apat lang talaga siya. Okay. So, let's try to apply it. So, ang trick dito is kung anong ease ang gagamitin. So, dyan ngayon napasok yung understanding nyo about ease in, ease out. So, usually, one tip that I can give you, when anticipating, it is always easing in. Again, when anticipating, it is always an ease in. Kapag nag-anticipate tayo, you are slowing down. Kasi definitely, kapag bumuelo ka, actually may konting pause pa yan. That's why you need to slow down. Okay. Let's try to apply it. So currently, we have an even spacing. If I put is in, look at what will happen. Look at what will happen in the spacing. Yan. So nag-ease in siya ngayon. Let's try to play it. Just for context, i-play ko muna ng walang ease. It looks like this. Ngayon naman, lagyan natin ng ease. So, ease in. Let's play it. See the difference? Let's make it snappier. Got the idea? So, bakit ko pinapakita to? Kasi guys, even though you know the concept, kung hindi nyo siya nakikita, hindi siya ma-apply. So, you need to be able to differentiate kung ano yung difference nung nilagyan ko ng is and yung walang is. So yun ngayon yung hahanapin nyo sa mga next animations nyo. Maliwanag ba? Okay. Next. Ayun na ka ba yung anticipation? Ngayon naman, doon tayo sa reaction. So kapag even spacing, Pag even spacing, ang weird kapag even yung pag-react niya. Di ba? Walang snap. Di ba? Kaya ka nga nagulat kasi biglaan eh. Di ba? So definitely, I need to speed it up. So gamitin natin itong speed up. Okay, kulang pa. Let's try, siguro gamitin natin dito, gamit tayo ng S-curve. See? Let's make it snappy. Snappier. Got it? Okay. Then lastly, ilagay na natin yung settle niya. Okay. We just mirror the interpolation and manipulation of the graph. The animation will look like this. Got it? So ilang post lang meron ako dyan? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is just hinold ko lang. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 poses. With just interpolation and manipulation of the graph, we have this kind of animation. Got it? Okay. So usually guys, most of the shows na pinapagawa is that we animate doubles in twos. Are you guys familiar with doubles? Ano ibig sabihin pag doubles? Huh? 2 drawings per second and so each drawing would be, or each pose would be 1 frame ba? 2. Kaya nga siya doubles eh. So each frame would be exposed twice. So kasi kapag naka-interpolate kayo, that's actually singles or naka-ones siya. So ang gagawin ko, convert ko siya. Select the entire thing, then use create keyframes on. Every number of frames, set it to 2. Magiging doubles yan. Create keyframes on this one. Here. Okay? So, bakit namin ginagawang doubles yung animation kapag character animation? Unang-una, usually kasi in traditional animation, very common itong ganitong klaseng technique. So, to create that nostalgia and hand-drawn feel, ginagawa namin doubles yung animation. Number 2, kapag nakatus ka kasi, mas konti yung mga keyframes na kailangan mong i-manipulate. So, for example, may mga in-betweens na medyo weird yung pag-blink. For example, this one. We can easily pinpoint which frame it is. Diba? Mas mabilis or mas madali. Okay. Play natin. There. Got it? Okay. Next. So next natin ay titingin siya sa kabila. So let's say I wanted to begin in frame 35. Same thing, interpolate natin. So kapag nag-interpolate, medyo weird yung itsura because it's too straight, right? And even spacing. So what I'm gonna do, kuha muna ako ng breakdown. So when you say breakdown, I'm going to define the exact middle. So ito yung pinaka-middle ko. What I'm going to do here is put What? Anong kulang sa turn na ito? Anticipation ba? No. Look at the path. What do we need to change about the path? Curve, that is correct. In animation terms, you call that arcs, that's correct. So we're going to put arc on this turn. Okay, next. So nag-introduce ako ng arc ngayon. The next thing that I'm going to add is a very small detail. So usually kasi guys, kapag nag-change of eye direction tayo, usually what do you do? When we change eye direction, let's say from right side, you're going to look at the left side. Anong ginagawa niya? We blink, that is correct. So, blinking in the middle of a change of eye direction is actually one of the involuntary movements na ginagawa ng isang human being. Okay? So, yun ngayon ang gagayahin natin. Maglalagay tayo ng blink dito. Then, again, don't forget about the eyebrow. Okay, so with the arc and the blink in the middle, look what will happen to the turn. So the difference? Wait lang. Okay, so from here again, just use interpolation, then fix the ease in, ease out. So ease out, then ease in. Play natin. Okay. I'm going to convert this again to doubles. Let's play it. Good idea? Actually, hindi pa yun dyan nagtatapos yan. May mga pwede pa tayo ayusin dyan. Okay. Nakita niyo yun, di ba? Nakita niyo yung in-between na yan? Right? So when we use interpolation, we have no control, or Harmony doesn't know if your model is, if your character is on model or not. Okay? Kaya usually guys, just to give you an idea, in production, we do checking of the animation not by playing it. When we check animation, we do it frame by frame. Okay? We check the continuity of the motion. Okay? Pag na-check na yung continuity, saka namin siya piniplay. Okay? So, kapag chinecheck siya frame by frame, we do not only check the pose, we check kung tama ba, kung model ba yung mga characters natin. So, for sure, may nakita kayong mga meme na pare yung pinopose, yung mga in-between ng mga sa mga smear frames, di ba? Or sa mga bad in-betweens, di ba? So, to avoid that, we have to fix our in-betweens. Most especially sa blinks, laging yan very notorious yan, yung mga blinks na yan. Kasi some animators, yung mga lazy animators, they do not check the in-betweens. Hindi porket smooth siya tignan in real time, tama na siya. No. Again, it's attention to detail. Diba? Hindi ko alam kung ano naamoy niya dito. Ang weird, diba? Hello? Yeah?
Ano po ba yung revert yung doubling mo?
Ang alin?
Doubling of the interpolation?
To revert that, you have to remove the in-betweens. Tapos i-interpolate nyo lang ulit. Yeah. So for example, ito. Itong part na to, I want to rework on it. Tanggalin ko yung in-between. Tapos interpolate nyo lang siya ulit. Yan. Yun lang siya. Actually, in production, lagi namin siyang ginagawa. Most especially if the movement is not smooth. So we're not afraid to remove all the in-betweens. Kasi we just generated that using interpolation. So you can always reinterpolate. So ang mahalaga lang dun, alam nyo kung nasaan yung key poses nyo o yung keyframes nyo.
May markers po.
Yes. So scene marker, frame markers, itong part na to is sa taas, this one. You can put markers here. So for example, right click, scene marker, tapos marker and frame. Ayan, may marker na siya.
Pwede ba hindi color or...
I think, yeah, pwede. Teka lang. Ayan. Ayan. You can put name, you can put notes about it, di ba? There. Got it? Ayan. So again guys, ang ginagawa ko lang dito is just editing yung mga individual in-betweens. Just to be sure na maayos yung mga IB natin. Okay, so look at the animation, guys. Medyo believable na, di ba? So, subukan pa natin siyang i-improve. Pwede pa natin ma-improve. So, another thing that I'm going to add here is follow-through. Okay, so remember the principle of follow-through? Anong ginagawa ng follow-through? Yung follow, kaya ang follow-through eh. Anong ginagawa ng follow-through? Yeah, secondary action. And it's basically the reaction. Diba? This is the physics of the entire movement. Diba? We can do it here sa bini niya. Kasi right now, even though it is moving, kulang ng reaction. Diba? Mukhang napakatigas ng bini. Right? So, subukan natin siyang palambutin. So, when doing follow-through, meron kaming sinusunod na very simple formula dyan. Ang formula namin is drag, overshoot, settle. Tatlo lang yun. Again, when doing follow-through, that's drag, overshoot, sakat settle. So, anong ibig sabihin ko doon? So, when dragging, so for example, this is my phone. So, I want my phone to move from this side going to this side. So, without follow-through, it look like this. Lagyan natin ng follow-through. Ang formula natin is drag. Ibig sabihin ng drag, medyo may iwan. Drag, stop, overshoot, settle. Okay? Bilisan natin. Drag, overshoot, settle. Sama? Drag, overshoot, settle. Got the idea? So that's a very simple formula for follow-through. Okay, subukan natin. I only want to reanimate the beanie. So ayokong masira yung ibang animation ng body. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for the layer of this beanie inside my timeline. Again, what's the shortcut to look for the layer? Press O. That's correct. Ito siya. I can actually change the color again of the layer para hindi nakakaduling. Then from there, I'm going to reanimate that layer only. Ako personally, kapag nag-animate ako ng follow-through, I do it straight ahead. Ibig sabihin, iniisa-isa ko siya. Okay? Mas madali siyang gawin ng straight ahead. Trust me. Okay. So, maglalagay muna ako ng drag. So, I want this to drag. Ibig sabihin, may iwan siya. Then, this one. So, may iwan din siya. There. So, yun siya. Mag-drag. Then, mag-settle. So, inbitin ko na lang. Okay, play natin. So, di pa tapos yan. So, kapag angat niya, i-push natin ng konti yung perspective, maybe this part right here would move in front. Diba? So, yung difference? So, maging ganyan yung pagkaiwan ng beanie. Parang dito pa siya. Okay. Tingnan mabuti. Mag-drag. Drag ulit. Overshoot, settle. So, difference? So, not only I did follow through, but also I established that there is depth. Kasi I made the beanie move in the Z depth. Diba? So, lagi kong sinasabi sa mga estudyante at mga tinetrain ko na do not be limited with the rig. Okay? So, do not be limited with the two-dimensional puppet. You have to remember, you always treat your rig as three-dimensional. Kayo, it's our responsibility as animators to provide that extra dimension. Okay? Play natin in real time. Got it? Okay, lagyan din natin ng isa, yung paglingon niya. Yes, hello? There you go. Okay, i-render natin. Yun natin MP4. This is, ilang frames yun? 50. Recording ba tayo? Okay. So in real time, na-render it to look like this. Got it? So there you go. So I animated everything from scratch. Diba? I showed you my process. Actually, each animator may sariling process. So this is mine. Okay? But at the end of the day, ang mahalaga lang naman doon is magawa namin ng tama yung animation. So para malamang tama, then papasok ang principles of animation. Okay? So I shared with you mine. So it's up to you if you want to use it or if you want to devise your own process. Basta ang mahalaga sa akin, yung output. Liwanag ba? Any questions?
Ano po, refresh lang po yung shortcuts for interpolation.
Interpolation is Control K. Tapos remove the interpolation is Control L. Magkatabi naman sila, K saka L. Yeah. Okay. So ganito guys. Teka, let me just stop recording. Ayan, yung record ko